lived with his big plays, but as of late, that offensive line has been playing terrible. Madden said it last week, they're out of sync, and it's true, they are. What they really are is lacking confidence. And I think what Terry Bradshaw said in the pregame is very true. They've got to come out and establish something early to gain that confidence back. They don't have to score. They just have to have some consistent drives and get that confidence back up offensively.
Cowboys have had 10 days after their big win in the second half over Green Bay. Rodney Peters, their quarterback today, and Troy Aikman is going to suit up as an emergency. Does it really matter who quarterbacks the Cowboys?
Yeah, I think it makes a difference because the philosophy of the passing game is built around Troy Aikman's strong arm. And when you don't have that strong arm, you go back to what you do have, and that's Emmitt Smith, the big offensive line, and the defense, and then take advantage of those receivers' height advantage in the passing game.
Should be a good one. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after these messages from your local Fox station. The Eagles have won the toss, and Chris Boniol will be kicking off for the Cowboys. Vaughn Hebron and Herschel Walker are deep for the Eagles, and it's heading over to Hebron. Hebron is tripped up just beyond the 20-yard line. 15-yard return. Randall Cunningham has not thrown a touchdown pass in that 3-game losing streak. Those are his numbers thus far. And the offensive line has to play a lot better with Williams, Davis, Alexander, Holmes, and Broderick Thompson. The power backs, Walker and Joseph, Williams and Barnett, two tough receivers, and Maurice Johnson starts at tight end. Mark Bavaro with a turf toe is inactive today. First down from the 21-yard line as Barnett goes in motion. And the give up the middle to Walker. Walker with a 91-yard touchdown run last week against Atlanta, picks up 5. Defensively for the #1 unit in the NFL, Charles Haley, one to watch today with Lett, Maryland, and Tolbert up front. Darren Smith, Robert Jones having a terrific year, and Dixon Edwards, speedy linebackers. Brown, Washington, Woodson, and Smith in the secondary. Second down and 5. This time Joseph, the move man, and Cunningham with his first pass, incomplete, intended for Barnett. And that'll bring up third down.
Well, we talked about them getting their confidence early. Randall Cunningham right now does not have his confidence. And you could watch it on the tape, you could see it develop, and where it really stems from is from his offensive line. And when the offensive line starts to break down, Cunningham has a tendency to start looking first at the rush instead of the coverage, and then that starts to get him in trouble.
The Eagles have been held scoreless in the first quarter the last 6 games. Third down and 5 from the 26. Cunningham with a pass up the middle to Joseph. Underneath, Joseph makes the catch and may have a first down. It'll be close. Dixon Edwards, one of the linebackers defending, and it is an Eagle first down.
Yeah, and you can't emphasize enough right now how important that play was. Because usually big plays in a game are at the end of the game when you say, well, this is the biggest situation, they got to get the first. But right now with this Eagle team, as fragile as that confidence has been, that play was huge because they've proved to themselves we can do it early. And once you establish that early, you can carry it through the rest of the game.
Rich Kotite has been low-key this week with all of the rumors swirling about him. First and 10 now on the 33. And we'll have a whistle. Penalty marker is down at the 40, and it may be a false start against the Eagles. 5-yard penalty.
They ran out of time.
Prior to the snap, offense, 5 yards, still first down.
Now what happened was Cunningham came up to the line of scrimmage and wanted an audible out of it. And he turned over to the left to talk to Joseph. Joseph didn't get it, and in that interim, the time ran down.
The Eagles lead the NFL in most delay of game penalties. In fact, next to the Raiders, they're the most penalized team overall in the National Football League.
It's not something that anybody in the coaching staff has been able to figure out. In fact, they've been miffed all year with it.
So now it's first and 15. Play action. And Cunningham is sacked by Charles Haley. And Haley is going to have to be kept out by the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, and a rookie has that responsibility.
Well, you got number 94, Charles Haley, who's, in my opinion, having the best year of his career. And you're going to single block him with a rookie. And anytime you do that with Charles Haley, you do two things. First of all, you work right into his hands physically. And then in this league, I think Charles Haley is probably the smartest one of the smartest defensive players that I've seen.
8.5 sacks for Haley and a 7-yard loss. Second down and 22. Pressure again on Cunningham. He gets it out to Walker. Gets by one defender, gives ground, and is dropped. Again, it's the linebackers led by Dixon Edwards. And a loss of 2 yards. So if you wonder why the Eagles have not been able to mount a rushing attack, they have been in first and second and long in the last several weeks.
Well, and I think you hit the point just 2 downs ago, and that was the penalty. I mean, you cannot start first and long. They did it the last 4 weeks. They've won 3 of them. They're starting off today the same way.
So the Eagles have gone backward. Jim Jeffcoat and Chad Hennings have come in for pass rushing purposes. Third down and 25. Cunningham going deep, and the pass intended for Victor Bailey is incomplete. He was defended on the sideline by Larry Brown and Brock Marion, and now Philadelphia will have to kick.
So all that talk about the early confidence and that big third down, and it worked to their advantage, and in one penalty, it wiped all that stuff out.
It was a delay of the game call, so Brian Barker will kick, and Kevin Williams, a big threat, returned the kickoff to start the second half, 87 yards against the Packers. Beautiful kick by Barker, and a fair catch called for by Williams at the 36. So the Eagles have had a chance, and now the Dallas Cowboys take over when we return to Veterans Stadium. And this is the toughest Eagle ticket in the last 5 years. Sellout crowd. People had to be turned away. Cowboys in town, and they go on offense. First down on their 37. Darrell Johnston, the fullback, goes in motion. Rodney Peete will throw on first down. Out of the backfield is Emmitt Smith. And Smith very close to the first down, dropped by Bill Romanowski. Rodney Peete, who has seen action in 4 games this year, but making his first start of the season. Despite the bruised thumb, up front, Mark Tuanay, Nate Newton, Mark Stepnoski, Derek Kennard, and Larry Allen, the rookie who has played well. Smith has Johnston, Harper and Irvin, the wide receivers, and Jay Novacek is the tight end. Second down and 1. Moose, Darrell Johnston dives forward for the first down and close to midfield. The Eagles defensively, and they've made a change in their defensive line. Bert Grossman starts in place of Greg Townsend. William Perry, Andy Harmon is having a fine year, and William Fuller make up the rest. Bill Romanowski, Britt Hager, and William Thomas are the linebackers. Eric Allen and Mark McMillan are the cornerbacks, and Greg Jackson and Michael Zordich the safeties. First down for the Cowboys on their 48. Peete will give it to Emmitt Smith, who stumbled and picks up maybe a yard. Smith has gained 100 yards or more 5 straight times against the Eagles.
Yeah, and it'll be another day for Emmitt Smith, because this man, Rodney Peete, knows what this offense is all about. He knows right now that he's got to be patient. He doesn't have to win it by himself. He's got a lot of horses around him. He just has to saddle up Emmitt Smith, hand him the ball, and then use the guys outside. We talked about it early. Throw the ball up like Jason Garrett did, and they'll be fine.
17 touchdowns for Emmitt Smith, who's also rushed more than any back in the league. Second down, Emmitt Smith off left tackle, and a fine defensive play made inside by Fuller, and a gain of only 1. There is Troy Aikman, who would be the emergency quarterback today, has the sprained knee, and the Cowboys expect him back next week against the Browns.
Now, this Philadelphia Eagle defense has this offense of the Cowboys right where they wanted to have them, third and long. This is where they feel they can best be effective, because they'll put all the pressure now on Rodney Peete's shoulders.
Harper and Irvin are split to the right on 3rd and 9. Peete gets some pressure. His pass is tipped incomplete, and it'll be 4th down.
Britt Hager got his hands up right there. Knocked that thing down. Now, I think this is a perfect example of what Rodney Peete's going to try to do. He's not going to try to work the outside. He's going to try to work back underneath to see Hager coming. And all he's doing is shadowing inside with Emmitt Smith. Going to try to throw to the underneath stuff and let the people who can run with the ball do their job.
John Jett leading the NFC with most kicks inside the 20. Will be kicking to Jeff Seidner. And a whistle before the play and a penalty marker down. Our referee today is Larry Nemmers. He will give us the explanation.
False start, 31 offense prior to the snap.
You saw
5 yards,
Marion.
still first.
Now he's one of the bullets outside, and he's anticipating as well as the DBs are. Did you see that one little move, and those DBs on the corner there, and they just jumped right on it. It's a game of action and reaction.
Brock Marion lined up to the top of your picture. Jett will kick from his 30 now. Good high kick. Seidner. Penalty flag down. Jeff Seidner is tackled by Darren Woodson after a good return, but a marker is down at the point. Seidner caught the punt.
And that's going to come back against the Eagles, an illegal block. Again, 2 things positive happened, 2 negatives have been that thing right there, that yellow flag.
Block in the back, 23 of the receiving team, half the distance to the goal, from the spot of the foul, first down.
That's Derek Frazier guilty of the illegal block, so the Philadelphia Eagles will be starting again deep in their own territory.
Derek Frazier, 23, right there on Kenneth Gant. And at the end, Frazier will put his hands up to push, and I can see where the official would see that it looks like a push, but watch it from this angle. His hands barely even touch him on the rear right there. Gant had already gone into tackle mode, and so it's a poor call.
Eagles will start from their 6-yard line. The handoff is to Herschel Walker. The Eagles were backed up to their own 18 when they had to kick on their first possession. And Walker picks up 4 yards. Tony Tolbert on the tackle.
You notice a little bit in this running game, it's more Herschel Walker. And in talking to the Eagles staff, I think a bulb went on in their head somewhere and says, hey, you know, the guy, he ran for 98 yards on 3 carries. That's almost 33 yards a carry. Maybe we should hand him the ball a little bit more.
Or get him the ball as a receiver. He hasn't done badly that way either. 2nd down and 6. And the inside handoff is to James Joseph. And Joseph, you can see the Eagles running up the middle against the Cowboys in the early going. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Dick, the Redskins know they'll need some defensive help in their efforts against the Tampa Bay Bucks. They got it. Craig Erickson pass picked off by Andre Collins. Hey, folks, this is his 4th pick of the season. 2nd, he's returned for a touchdown. And Terry, look, he gets a little distance between him and Courtney Hawkins. He finds pay dirt. Skins on top, 7-0. Back to Dick.
Boy, those Penn State guys, they keep showing up everywhere.
Reminded me of you. Here's a fake end around and a pass to James Joseph, who was ridden out of bounds. So a bit of tomfoolery.